The model provides you with a very clear overview of how you can use insightQ to support quality assurance and quality improvement. insightQ asks providers to reflect and take action at 3 levels. So at the individual level, at an organisational level, and at the level of activity within your organisation. And it prompts you to ask 3 questions. Firstly, where are we now at those 3 levels? What do we need to do at those levels? And finally, how can we access some support and resources and good practice around those activities? So if we go back and look at where we are now, Observe is one of our software modules, and at an individual level, Observe supports peer observations at any stage of the learner, employer or customer journey. So whether that's observations of teaching, learning and assessment, observations of quality of your customer service, it could be your services to employers through your business development team, caseload reviews, and you can design the templates and schedule them to the relevant people to support your colleagues to improve their practice, facilitate peer review, for them to do self-reflection and self-managed personal development. It has within there inbuilt action plans which are led by the observer and the observee, and a space for practitioner feedback. So the action plans are taking you into that level of what do we need to do. At a department level or an organisational level, Evaluate prompts you and your colleagues who contribute to the self-assessment process to take a reflective step back and ask questions against the standard that you're working towards. So based upon your chosen framework, which could be Ofsted, Estin, Education Scotland, your own internal standard, it prompts you to ask deeper questions. So how good are we at various levels against the standard we're working towards? How do we know how good we are? What evidence do we have to support that judgment? And Evaluate also gives you a nice clear format to share and present that back to your colleagues, to leaders in your organisation, your external partners, Ofsted, etc., in a very clear and concise way, and in a way that's relevant to them. Evaluate also uses dashboards to help you and your contributors to be more considered in your judgments and therefore more accurate in your self-evaluation, which gives you confidence in that process and really helps you with your reviews. Inquire is focused on quality inquiry reviews and action planning around the activities of your organisation. So thinking about your learner, your employer or your customer journey, Inquire helps you to develop a structure and a methodology for review, which you can then use to test your model against your benchmark and identify what's working well and why and what action needs to be carried out in the action plan. And it can be used in so many different ways. So for example, it might be that you are conducting a review of your current equality and diversity policy and you want to go out into your organisation and test the delivery model, or inquiry can be applied in terms of things that are a step ahead of what's coming up in the future. And in the example I will in the presentation today, I will provide an example of that in terms of preparation for a shift in policy. So in this case, looking at the new Ofsted Education Inspection Framework, which comes into effect this summer. Moving on to what we need to do. So in addition to the action plans that are built into Observe and Inquire, Improve supports quality improvement planning at a departmental and organisational level. So the advantages of insightQ online quality improvement planning include that it encourages involvement and accountability of your colleagues. It'll save your coordinators time and your managers time in coordinating activity. It will do the chasing for you, and it will remind people that they have actions coming up or things that are due, for example. Improve is still a very flexible tool, and it can be applied not only to quality improvement plans but also for business strategy or business growth planning, and you can have as many plans as you like on Improve, and it's used, like I say, mainly at a departmental or whole organisational level. Then just thinking about the how, so you might have in there underneath Observe, Evaluate and Inquire, you might keep together your quality documents, whether that's policies, processes, procedures, evidence, reports, etc. And you can enable permissions to these in folders as you need them. So it's effectively a big quality filing cabinet, and I get a lot of feedback from clients that one of the surprises for them when they first start using insightQ is how useful it is to have a dedicated online storage facility just for quality improvement, because it keeps all the quality documents nicely and neatly stored away in one dedicated space. which I think appeals especially to people who like things very well ordered and neat and tidy. Share covers, share down the bottom is us providing you with a filing cabinet of resources, I suppose. So it's by subscription, and it's access to resources that give you a library of tools. So tools, templates, policy, examples, all related to quality, and that will be available, like I say, by subscription in spring 2019.